Hi, I'm Kara, and this channel is about human connection and navigating change in your life, in organizations, and more broadly for collective well-being. Today is about courage. Courage is a core aspect of leadership, individual transformation, and broader systems change. But it's also part of defining your own success, going at your own pace, and living authentically to you. One of my favorite quotes of all time is by Maya Angelou, who was a poet, dancer, singer, memoirist, and civil rights activist. She said that courage is the greatest virtue because without courage, you cannot practice any other virtue consistently. And I love this so much because it's one thing to uncover and clarify your values, priorities, and what matters to you in life, and it's a whole other thing to live by them. So, we're going to look at this in 5 key ways. First of all, it takes courage to live in alignment with your values and in integrity with yourself. And when I say in integrity with yourself, I'm talking about congruence, where your insides match your outsides, where your words and actions align with each other and with your deepest values. For example, it's easy to talk about being kind or compassionate, and it's relatively easy to practice that when you're feeling calm, fresh, and centered. But it can be a lot harder to continue showing up that way if you're tired, stressed, facing deadlines, under pressure. You might have to say no to parts of yourself or to others to continue showing up in alignment with that value. And that takes strength and courage. 2, it takes courage to continue acting in integrity with yourself, that continuity, because the world will pressure you otherwise. Not intentionally, just life. You'll have to intentionally say no, to stand your ground, and to very consciously make choices, big and small, that align with your values. Be it how you show up in the world, like kindness, how you treat the world, like your consumer choices, or how you live your life, maybe making career or relationship choices that go against norms within your circles, but are a reflection of what matters most to you. 3, it also takes courage to make change. Because regardless of how new and exciting the next step is, change is inherently disruptive. No matter how uncomfortable your current state is, us humans tend to prefer familiar discomfort than the uncertainty and unfamiliarity of something new, even if the new thing is infinitely better than the current state. And you need to just take the first step, which takes courage. 4, it also takes courage to maintain change, maybe a habit, a new project, or a business endeavor, because it requires consistency to maintain. You're rewiring your brain to adapt to a new normal, and it can be so much easier to just fall back into familiar habits, routines, structures, and circles. If you're starting something new, you might contend with inner obstacles like limiting beliefs, the inner critic, or external obstacles like rejection or people who just don't get what you're doing. This isn't to discourage you from making change, just normalizing that there are obstacles along the path, and if you encounter them, then it's normal and very possible to move through. And 5, it takes courage to move at your own pace. Sometimes you want to just get it done and go fast, and that's great. And other times, maybe you're on the cusp of something new, but you're not quite ready to dive in. Or you know that you can't rush this idea incubation phase, this void, the liminal space in between 2 chapters, or that there's like an inner leap you need to make to fully show up in the next chapter. If you are in this in-between space, check out the program I'm running in the notes. The link is there. It's called Emergence, and it helps you shepherd your next chapter into being in your own pace. You can also grab your Change Survival Toolkit in the links too, which really helps you anchor yourself through any kind of change that you're moving through on a personal level. So it takes courage to show up in integrity with yourself and to make and maintain change, and to do so in a way that honors your own rhythms. And this includes change that brings you greater joy, meaning, and congruence with yourself. So, if you're experiencing nervousness or discomfort or challenge around change, congratulations. You're taking courageous steps and experiencing very normal human responses. And you've got this. Take it one step at a time, check out the Change Survival Toolkit, and keep going. Thanks so much for joining me. My name's Kara, and I'll see you soon.